wide receiver, Cordell Roberson. And Cordell, we'll start with you. First team all-conference twice already. Those individual awards are nice, but for you, I imagine right now it's about getting a ring. It's not so much about getting that all-conference award again.
That's what we focus on. That's our main goal, is to win a championship and bring it back up.
So many great pass catchers on this team. You're getting the attention today, but I know you wanted to spread it around. Brag on those other guys on the receiving corps.
We have a lot of good receivers, and my classmate, Grady Crawford, he's one of the best returners and receivers throughout our conference also. We have Chris Lott, we have Mike Brooks, Tyler Boyd, Aaron Thomas. I can go on and talk about them, but we have a lot of depth at receiver. We're all pretty good.
You got to love that clip, by the way, of you putting the axe in the log. That's great. Third offensive coordinator you've had in 3 years. Tell me a little bit about Richard Olin.
Coach Olin is a fun guy to be around. He has a great personality. Once you beat him, you just have a good vibe about him. He's fun to be around. He's funny. I feel like we're going to do real good with him.
That's good. He's a fun guy. Football's supposed to be a fun game. Ryan, while Cordell has the advantage of having a lot of great receivers back, linebacking core, you're the only man back, and as far as starters go, how do you get the rest of that group to gel around you?
Last year they played a lot, and we had a great summer turnout, 100%, and we've been doing a lot of linebacker drills and everything, so really just fine.
Looking down the rest of the depth chart, obviously a big name there is Willie Jefferson. Buchanan Award watch list goes to the top defensive player at the FCS level. From an insider, somebody that works with him every day, what does he do to set himself apart?
He's just a winner. He doesn't like getting out there. And he's going to go out every day and be prepared to win. And that's our D-line and our core of our defense. That's very good for them.
113 tackles for you last year, leading tackler. Do you write that number down and think that's a goal, or do you just not worry about it, hope that maybe you can better that this year?
Well, I would like to better our record. It looks better than 6 and 5. It'd be awesome if we had more. But I'm looking for a conference title, and trying to hopefully end up in the Natty where St. Houston was.
We want to see you in Frisco. We want to see some Southland teams in Frisco. That's for sure going to be a lot of fun there, regardless of the teams. But can you imagine if there are 2 Southland teams in Frisco? J.C. Harper will be there in Frisco with us this weekend. Going to take part in a youth clinic that the Southland Conference is hosting. A lot of things on his plate, Lynn.
Well, Chris, certainly this is a man who is no stranger to offense, and of course Southland champion in 2009 and 2010. J.C. Harper, the architect of that. A weird year last year. You don't play well the first half. You play lights out the second half. What was the difference, and can that momentum continue to 2012?
Well, I definitely think it could continue to 2012. I would say the difference was our leadership of our team. Kind of the understanding of what it takes to win football games and holding each other accountable and in practice and in games, and then obviously having some success, helps to the next part. You have success, and winning helps, and just come together and having fun doing it.
I want to wave a flag of warning to the rest of the Southland Conference, because this is an offense that has scored a lot of points over the last several years. It's nothing new, a lot of crooked numbers, and yet you think this could be the best offense ever at SFA.
I really do. I really like our quarterback. Brady Attaway had a great spring, and he really came on the last 5 games. And I really like the addition of Dick Olin at the offensive coordinator position. I think he's a great fit for Brady. And I like our receivers. Obviously, we have 2 veteran receivers in Cordell Roberson and Graydon Crawford, but Marquise Mosley is no longer a freshman, and so it shapes up to be a pretty good skill group out there. And then our running backs are much improved with Dunce Johnson and Fred Ford and Jeremy Barnes, and then whenever your center's a fifth-year senior, you feel pretty good about your center because he touches the ball first, right? And then it gets it to him. So we're excited about our offense, and we feel like we're going to be really good.
A quick word about the defense, because the Lumberjacks have led the country for 3 consecutive years in sacks. They led the nation last year in tackles for loss. And this is a team that doesn't blitz. How do you do it?
Well, Coach Gibbs doesn't blitz. He's not a big believer in the blitz. However, sometimes I guess he might pull the trigger, but it's very rare. I think it's the idea that we have good defensive linemen. Willie Jefferson and Malcolm Maddox and Darren Robinson are all very talented football players. And we'll add in Trevor Murphy and Lance Schuyler are going to be guys that are going to fulfill in. And I think the secondary does a great job of keeping it all in front of them and squeezes all the air out of it. And our linebackers do a great job of underneath coverage, and so it makes it all work together, And Coach Gibbs understands that, and the more time we have, obviously, the more pressure we can put on with those defensive linemen. It just seems to work.
JC, it wouldn't surprise me if 4 Southland Conference teams don't get votes in the top 25 when all is said and done. Preseason, your team certainly would be among that mix.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, first of all, Sam Houston obviously is returning 19 starters and having the year that they had. Obviously, they're probably going to be preseason pick number 1 in the country. I don't know if there's any other team that has what they have returning back. And then Central Arkansas, obviously the last few years they've been very talented and good. McNeese State, it's each and every year is a talented football team. And then, of course, you got us, and you got Lamar, and you got Southeastern, you got Northwestern State, you got Nichols. I mean, it's a heck of a league, and you better bring it each and every weekend.
Chris, one thing's for sure, they'll be chopping wood again in Nacogdoches, Texas.
Absolutely. That's always a fun pregame tradition there for the Lumberjacks. Big rivals playing for Chief Caddo, the Northwestern State Demons. They sent Jeremy Lane into the NFL, picked up by the Seattle Seahawks, but they still have 20